Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm here with a special video. This is a little two-part video where I'm going to show you guys my long stroke build, and I'm going to show you what skills you guys should be leveling up when you're getting power leveled, and anything else, just skills that you need to use to basically be able to solo, because a lot of people think, you just use a skill at its low level and it'll be as efficient. That's not the case. You need to level certain skills up for you guys to have success in soloing and a lot of different dungeons. So I mean, let alone soloing, when you're playing with a group, it's always good to be the one who says, I have this skill, you have that skill, type of ordeal, because 8 skills to one person, you're kind of limited. So I'm going to basically go over my long stroke build, the skills I use on there, and why I use those skills, and basically let you guys know that the skills that I use are the skills to use, and I will tell you my alternatives maybe if you don't have a skill or whatnot. So I'm gonna just go ahead, and so I'm gonna let you guys know this is my long stroke build. These chips, I left 4 chips unlocked. I'll show you guys my actual gun if that helps you guys out a lot more. So here's my actual gun. So these are the chips that you definitely want on the long stroke. This long stroke is not one you get from Invitation A. This one you get from getting 160 million bounty and taking the chips from the other high bounty rewards and taking those chips, transferring them over, and making your long stroke the best it can be. So with this, let alone, the base damage is about 2207 or 1, and that's the base damage. I overclocked this long stroke and it's not fully overclocked, but it still works for me just as great, not being overclocked or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my next weapon. So for this, as you guys see, it's a rank 9. You're like, why are you using this? I use this strictly because I don't use my secondary gun. A lot of people run with the blue roses, which I have yet to get a good one. So I don't use blue roses. I use the like this whatever SMG with very lightweight, which is 320, just so I can move around a lot faster and I'm not weighed down. So for my skills, guys, I'll show you this. So I run 2 of these skills, which you only get 2 of them, and able to transfer one over to another accessory once you get home expansion, and once you get 2 characters with 180 mil bounty, you will receive one of these on one character, and then you will receive the other one. And I've already explained what bounty is. Bounty is what you get these excessive rewards for, and I have multiple characters with 180 mil bounty. That's why I have double of almost every item. If you see, I go down, I have pretty much 2 of each item, so I'm able to run double classes, which I recommend you guys doing. But until you guys get that, I will show you guys my build without this, so you guys can see the stats to run. So 127 strength, you don't need more than that. 127 strength is basically so you can hold the long stroke. This is my long stroke strictly build. You run a long stroke, a lightweight SMG just for skills. You run no vit, basically your glass cannon, because you're running no vit just so you can put extra points into INT and agility. My agility usually isn't this high. I usually run at 206, but I realized if you guys want, you guys can take this agility down to 206 and put 100 points into vit, or you can strictly copy this class. INT is 231, so that my skills last a decent amount of time. My recharge time is pretty good. Max dex, max luck is basically, the highest amount of crit damage that I can hit. And for luck, it's just, crit rate, and dex, weak spot damage. So I'll go along to show you guys the skills I use. So quick shot 2 and 3. A lot of times people use quick shot 2 and 3. So these is really what you want to level up for your quick shot build. So level these up so that you can use double quick shots, so you never really run out once you use your weapon art. And viral shot is not a necessity, because if you don't have DLCs, obviously you don't have viral shot, and if you haven't unlocked DLC 4, you don't have viral shot, but you can unlock it. I recommend using it once you get DLCs, or once you get to that point in the game if you already have them. But if not, armor break is just as good, guys. because before I had the DLCs, I was playing this game 2.5 weeks without them. It's going on, well, this is my fourth week, almost been a month of me playing this game so far, and I'm here trying to bring you guys as, up to date content as I can. So for hyper awareness, you do have to beat normal mode for it, and if you don't have hyper awareness, you can run Human Fortress 1, which requires 30 bit, which makes it where you don't get knocked around, but at the same time you can't be a glass cannon if you get hit for half your damage one time. So for this, I'll show you guys this. Power field and guard field is for yourself and your own buffs. If you're running a support build, then these won't be what you run. If somebody else runs buffs, you run nano and crit or something else. I'll show you guys all the skills to level up, but this is just my build. This is my long stroke build for soloing. If you don't run skill freeze for NPCs inside of game, like invitations and challenges, run speed form or use electrodynamic stun 3s or 4s. 3s work just as fine. The only thing 4 does is, of course, add strength, but the recharge time is a lot slower. It literally doubles. So these are my recommended classes for solo invitations. I'll show you guys. So this is what you would run if you're just running regular everything, hyper awareness or human fortress, armor break if you don't have viral shot. So, and then for gadgets, I run Ailment, First Aid. This is a DLC. If you don't have this, just run like Proximity Mine, or I usually wouldn't even run this. Actually, these are the main 3 ones you want to have. And I'll show you guys my build again. So these are the stats for the build. This is the chips that you want to have on the long stroke. This is the one from the bounty, but either way it goes, these are the chips you want to have in your long stroke anyway. And if you guys ask in the comments, why are these percents so high? These percents are so high just because the fact that this is a bounty weapon that already came with maxed out chips, and they introduced more higher chips once the last update came out, the winter update. When they added that update upped the percentages, so we were able to make more builds and give our characters more damage basically with the new accessories, because with my accessories on my class and on my build, this is what it looks like. And this class does a lot of DPS, I promise you guys. This is literally my glass cannon build. It gives me a little bit of it. And as for skills, guys, like I said, this is going to be a 2-part video just so you guys can get my build and skills. So power form, armor form are good, but they're not good when it comes to you playing with the group or doing co-op, because they don't last as long. Their recharge time is way higher, and the strength of them is just not as much as the fields. So I'm going to say, you guys, when you first start, maybe using power form, armor form is okay, just because it only requires a little bit of stats for you to use. But I definitely recommend you guys getting speed form up. Speed form isn't a priority, but it's one of those ones you want to get up. Concentration is decent when you like to use dual wield guns with a lot of ammo and you just like to keep shooting and not aiming. This is really good for that. Attention Seeker is really good for tank builds that like to tank damage and keep the enemy boss off of your teammates and keep it on you so your teammates can shoot it in the back. Attention Seeker is really good. Getting that up is really good for tank builds. Hawkeye isn't really a skill you want to use, but I'm only going to go over skills that you guys should especially pick out, level them up to 4. Conceal is a great skill. I believe everybody should have it. You should have it to 4, just so you can go in there and basically be invisible to the boss. It makes it where the enemies is harder for them to detect you. Trigger happy is really good when it comes to using dual wield and higher capacity clips where you can just keep shooting and reload pretty fast. Getting that leveled up is really good, but it does require VIT, so this build doesn't really. But the thing about this build, the stuff that I have on this build you guys want to use, because all the skills that I have locked because, one, my stats they don't meet the prerequisite for the classes, you can't actually equip them just because of my stat points. So for the ones that I'm telling you guys you need to level up, these are for different classes for like AR builds and submachine gun builds. So for skills, builds are like basically second nature to what you guys need to level up basically. So like I said, trigger happy. Human Fortress, I would say level them up for like a real tank, but I only use Human Fortress 1 because if you use Guard Field and Human Fortress 2, 3, 4 takes over that guard that you use with Guard Field, and the Guard Field for form shot actually takes away the like it. Okay, so if you were to use armor form but somebody was to use armor form shot, their armor form shot would override that if it hits you second. So that's what Human Fortress does for Guard Field, and Guard Field is the better guard. It gives you more defense. So for healing builds or like support characters, I recommend HP recovery. Not necessarily. Healing field is definitely the best one. Healing field and AED shot is probably the only ones you guys need to run. And for other support, you want to run crit form shot and nanotech form shot, which does require vid, meaning you're actually going to be playing DPS. I meant not DPS. You're actually going to be playing support for your teammates. So healing field, AED shot, crit form, and nanotech are definitely the skills to use. And when it comes to the fields and the guard field, these are the best buff. So maybe 1 or 2 people should always have them on, especially with power field shot 4s. As you can see, it requires 231 INT. This is especially why I use 231 INT, just because of that. And I'll show you guys here, crit form shot and nanotech boost shot. It increases damage for nanotech, and in crit form increases your crit rate. So running this as a support definitely help your teammates out, gives them more chances of hitting crits, and gives them just higher damage overall. And like I said, for you guys who don't have the DLCs, Armor Break is just as good as Viral Shot. Viral Shot is just a combination of Power Break and Armor Break put together, plus a little bit more strength. But the thing is, Viral Shot's recharge time compared to Armor Break is nothing. So using Armor Break 4 is definitely just as good as Viral Shot, let alone it may not have as much damage numbers when you use it, but Armor Break is definitely 100% needed for those higher ranked bosses. So okay, as for skill freeze and Viral Shot are DLCs, so if you guys don't have DLCs, don't be steered away from getting those, because DLCs are really key in actually doing certain things in this game. So, and like I told you guys before, electrodynamic stuns, I use Stunner 3 just because the recharge time is 24. When I have high INT, it's not that much. Plus, I use my weapon art, which comes back really fast. Stunner 4 doubles that time, and it's the same amount of effect, I feel, because I have experience in using this. So explosive shot is a hit or miss, guys. Explosive shot is really only needed for when you do behemoth with the sniper and you hit explosive shot basically on this crit weak spot at the bottom of it. So explosive shot levels up once you use it, so that's when you want to level up, but passively. Don't make it like a priority like you would power field, guard field, and armor break. Those 3 right there are the top skills to use, and anybody else in this game could really vouch for me there. Quick shot, leveling that up is the same thing as explosive shot. Don't make it a priority, because once you use quick shot 1, you're gonna get quick shot 2, 3, and 4 following like really fast. People don't use quick shot 4 because they like to spam 3 and 2 because of the recharge time. Once you double the recharge time, even if you have high INT, it still comes back extremely slower. So like I said, I recommend using 3 and 2. I do see a difference with 4 only because it adds like 2 or 3 shots to the burst, but that's just about it. The rest of these skills down here, guys, I'll let you know. A lot of people use them for different builds and to play around, but like a lot of these skills aren't really useful except for like taunting yield for somebody who doesn't want to use attention seeker for their tank build. Shield matrix is definitely really good for a tank build. And the rest of these skills are sword skills, and I don't recommend using swords in this game. So, I mean, because I'm strictly, a long stroke user myself, and I use a sniper from time to time when I help people level in behemoth. But Other than these skills, guys, I just went through pretty much all the skills and the skills you want to use. I'll say it again, and I'm going to put it in the description so you guys see. Speed form is a passive skill, but you want to have that leveled. You want to get conceal leveled. Human fortress is passive. Power field, guard field, a necessity. Armor break is a necessity to get that leveled up. Power break is not one you want to use. It's not you want, like, if you use power break and armor break, there's no point because it's like you're slowed down so much shooting debuffs, you know. So I just recommend armor break because armor break is just as good. Power break just makes it where their attack power isn't as high, but if you already have guard field 4, there's no point unless you're using my glass cannon build, but then there is a point. But at the same time, if you're able to be a glass cannon with that much damage, don't worry about it. Support builds, you guys should have crit form, nanotech, level 4. Those should be for support build priorities. Also with the support build, healing field shot and AD doesn't level up, but healing field shot and health recovery are definitely ones that support builds want to level up. Those 4 are main. The guard field, power field, those should just be for you alone. You should get those leveled up no matter what. Just like speed form and just like electrodynamic. But electrodynamic isn't really good using it in campaign as much as anything else. But if I mean, hopefully I covered everything in this video, guys. I hope you liked and enjoyed. And hopefully this helps you out with getting started and being able to do things on your own and soloing, because I know I see a lot of people struggle with what skills to use, what skills to level up. And I will show my build again, guys, just so you can see it. I'll take my skills off. And other than that, hope you guys like the content. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and look in the description for the actual skills you want to level up, guys. And other than that, thanks for watching.